What is the amount of the Saudi investment that is going to be made?
That has not been determined yet, Senator.
Has there been any discussion of what that amount will be?
It would be, there's been discussions, it would be a significant amount, north of
What are the amounts that have been discussed?
North of $1 billion.
Today on Capitol Hill, PGA Tour executives Ron Price and Jimmy Dunn are taking tough questions from senators at a key hearing over that proposed deal with Saudi-backed LIV Golf. Last month, both businesses agreed to combine to create one larger organization. The entity hasn't been named yet, but some have raised concerns, pointing to the Saudi government's record on human rights. Former AT&T CEO Randall Stevenson, a member of the PGA Tour's policy board since 2012, resigned over the weekend, citing serious concerns of his own. Jim Nugent joins us now, founder and publisher of the Global Golf Post. Jim, thank you so much for being here. Let's dive right in. So how do you think Congress will ultimately handle this agreement?
Well, I think the hearing has gone very well for the PGA Tour, and I don't think they're going to get a whole lot of blowback after today from the United States Senate. The senators generally are using this as an opportunity to harangue about Saudi Arabia. One senator used it as an opportunity to spout off about golf in China, even though the PGA Tour hasn't operated in China since 2019. But generally listening to these senators speak, I think that they're giving the PGA Tour wide berth to negotiate an agreement with Saudi Arabia, and I expect that it will go through in time.
Interesting. So I thought one portion that was really fascinating in his opening statement, PGA Tour chief operating officer Ron Price, he says when LIV Golf launched its inaugural series last year, the tour faced an unprecedented attack. Here's a bit more. Let's listen quickly.
Instead of losing control of the PGA Tour, we pursued a peace that would not only end the divisive litigation battles, but would also maintain the PGA Tour structure, mission, and longstanding support for charity.
So, Jim, how will the PGA Tour maintain control if this deal does go through?
Well, first of all, there is no definitive agreement in place at this moment in time. There's a framework for an agreement. It's being negotiated. It's being negotiated in good faith. But the broad strokes are that although Saudi Arabia is going to be an investor, and although the governor of the private investment fund is going to be the chairman, operating control of all of the entities surrounding the PGA Tour will be controlled by the commissioner of the PGA Tour and the executive committee of the PGA Tour. So Saudi will have influence, but they will not have the final decision-making authority on anything relating to professional golf around the world.
So LIV Golf announced Monday it's moving its season championship series from Saudi Arabia to a Trump National Golf Club in Miami. What do you make of that, Jim? Is that a way to appease those who are concerned about the Saudi government's record on human rights, do you think?
I think that was just a change in scheduling. I don't think you can read too much into that. They were going to play at Trump Doral at some point this year. It was a scheduling change. I don't think there's anything more to it than that.
So the PGA Tour's chief operating officer Ron Price released an op-ed in The Athletic Monday, and he writes that future for the PGA Tour is significantly brighter thanks to this agreement. The PGA Tour now has a great opportunity to advance player rewards, enhance the fan experience, grow our audience, and expand access to our game. So he says this agreement shouldn't be considered a merger. Why not, Jim? And why take issue with that word, do you think?
That word came out, that word was never really used by the PGA Tour consciously. It was a word that was used on CNBC, the business network, when the announcement was made. This is a partnership. It's not a merger. It was never intended to be a merger. It's a combining of assets in a partnership agreement. And it gets to be very technical. It gets to be very legal. But at the end of the day, at this partnership agreement, the PGA Tour is going to control every aspect of the professional game around the world.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.